Even with no competition in sight, 2K Sports still went all out with NBA 2K13, adding a new control scheme, revamped presentation inspired by Jay-Z, as well as a number of new game modes and add-ons that rival the Celtics' 17 NBA championships. Although there are a few issues that prevent NBA 2K13 from reaching perfection, there is no doubt that it's king of the NBA sim hardwood. Two things that bugged NBA 2K fans in previous titles was the old ISO motion controls and taking physics and momentum into account during gameplay. Both have been addressed in NBA 2K13. The control stick is the latest addition to NBA 2K, and it works eerily similar to the right stick controls in the NBA Live series. The shot stick, which I love, is still intact, but now you are required to pull down the left trigger as a modifier to use it. There is a huge learning curve here, as the control stick allows users to pull off an extensive number of moves, so much that 2K Sports had to dedicate a website to list them all out. Shooting using the right stick and left trigger takes some getting used to as well, but you can always use the face buttons or revert back to the old controls if need be. For me personally, using the new shot stick controls proved to be a bit too difficult, and now I sadly use the face buttons to shoot. It would have been nice to be introduced to a tutorial on the controls, but if you dig deeper, you'll find out that there is one available in the game's training camp mode. Signature Skills is a new addition that gives certain players in-game attribute boosts. However, none of this is explained to you unless you dig deep into the menus. But once explained, it does make sense to give star players a leg up on their Ride the Pine counterparts. Control improvements have also been added on the other side of the ball, as you can now shade offensive players, flop like you were Vlade Divac in his prime, and arm check players up close. They're subtle but welcome changes for those who like to actually play on-ball defense instead of camping in the key with the center. Physics and momentum is another major improvement added to NBA 2K13. In last year's title, defenders stuck to players like glue, even in a mismatch. This no longer happens in NBA 2K13. If you have a big on a small or vice versa, you can rightfully exploit it, which is how it should be. The new physics also create a number of new animations, many of which are jaw-dropping in nature, along with new player reactions, celebrations, and collisions that add to the game's authenticity. Keep the replay feature handy because you'll be using it in NBA 2K13. Xbox 360 users can use Connect voice commands to make substitutions and call plays. The voice commands are instantaneous and work. If you fuddle with the D-pad to make moves and own Connect, save yourself the trouble and take advantage of the device you shelled out all that money for.
The world is yours. Whose world is this?
2K Sports recruited one of the greatest rappers of all time in Jay-Z to provide input on the game's soundtrack and other presentation enhancements, and for the most part, the changes work well. The soundtrack consists of mostly old and new hip-hop tracks, and as an avid fan of the genre, I'm loving it. In fact, I actually already have most of the songs in my iPhone. Pre-game introductions include a mix of well-edited highlights, music video footage, and cityscape shots, and KNBR's Damon Bruce is back to provide a more polished halftime report. Kevin Harlan, Clark Kellogg, and Steve Kerr are back, calling the games, and the trio is solid as ever. The banter between them is perfect as they provide deep insight during games and even poke fun at players in certain situations.
A finish, and it's slammed in by Garnett.
This is Kevin Harlan, reached up high and brought it down hard.
Well, that's how you do the dunk, that's for darn sure.
And that's how you commentate it. You guys are crazy.
This sort of variety in commentary is realistic, refreshing, and hilarious at the same time. No other sports game does it better. The only gripes I have with the game from a presentation standpoint is the confusing and over-the-top look of the menu system and stat overlays, as well as the elimination of a few subtle replay features. Navigating through the menus is a daunting task, and the hip-hop inspired graphics package is a little over the top for me. Also, for some reason 2K Sports took out the post-game player highlight option and the highlight reel option in replays. I liked watching highlights of each player post-game, and it's definitely something I'll miss. You aren't going to find a better looking sports video game than NBA 2K13. Although not much has changed from a graphic standpoint, nothing really needed to be changed. Player models, faces, and jerseys are as detailed as ever, and the variety of shoes in the game is simply mind-blowing. Crowds are well detailed, and arenas look exactly like their real-life counterparts. I know that this has been said many times with the NBA 2K series, but it's true. From a distance, it looks like you are actually watching a real NBA basketball game. It looks that good. .2K Sports did not sit on its hands when it came to creating new modes for NBA 2K13. The folks at 2K revamped the game's My Player mode, enabling gamers to customize their baller in several new ways, from creating their own kicks and buying new clothes with the game's new currency system. My Career mode also gets a few new tweaks, including GM sit-downs, new endorsements, and the addition of a social media feed similar to Madden NFL 13's Twitter feed in Connected Careers mode. All of the additions make My Career a deeper experience that will keep you busy all season long. My Team also takes a page out of Madden NFL 13's book, as the new mode is similar to the game's Madden Ultimate Team. Users can collect card packs and build their own team from scratch through the aforementioned currency system. It's a fun mode for those who are into building their own custom squads. Many gamers were expecting huge changes with the game's online and association modes. Online had serious connectivity issues in 2K12, but in my limited time with it so far, 2K13 plays smooth as butter online. However, there were instances where I hit a bug where the in-game scoreboard disappeared mid-game. That is simply inexcusable. My Team makes a return, but the highly requested Crew mode is nowhere to be found. Association mode, which has been largely untouched in previous titles, remained the same for yet another year. Despite some minor tweaks and updates, Association mode has been given the red-headed stepchild treatment. Hopefully this changes next year, because it's gotten to the point for me where I don't even bother with the mode anymore. In addition, 2K Sports added several other new modes, including the ability to play as the Dream Team and 2012 Olympic Team, All-Star Weekend DLC that includes a more accessible dunk contest with Rock Band-like controls, deep detailed shoe creator, and even a celebrity team that features celebrities like Justin Bieber and Pauly D of the Jersey Shore. All of this, along with the main modes in the game, is more than enough to keep gamers busy all season long. Although the lack of Crew mode and untouched Association mode remain a concern, NBA 2K13 provides such a mind-boggling amount of new features that it surpasses NBA 2K12 and, dare I say it, NBA 2K11. With tight core gameplay mechanics, top-notch presentation, and deep replay value, NBA 2K13 is simply the best basketball sim out there. Well, that's it for this episode of Sports Gamer Show. If you want more content, go to the website at www.sportsgamershow.com. Make sure to like the Sports Gamer Show Facebook page. As always, follow me on Twitter and add me on Xbox Live and the PlayStation Network. I'm Rio Pacino, and I'll see you on the next show.